On the news this afternoon, federal government signs agreement with judiciary parliamentary workers on implementation of financial autonomy. 3 rivers communities to enjoy sustainable development of NLNG. Plus, Governor Matawale revokes all land titles, certificates of occupancy, introduces electronic C of O in Zamfara. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on the RSTV News at 3, coming to you live from our studios. I'm Utuna here as Zwina. Do remember that coronavirus is still out there. Wear your nose mask, wash and sanitize your hands regularly. By doing so, you're protecting yourself from COVID-19 and keeping your family safe. And now the news in full. Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas NLNG Limited has commissioned its corporate head office at Amadi Creek Eastern Bypass, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Managing Director NLNG Tony Atta said a major highlight of 2019 as their anniversary of 30 years of existence and 20 years of production was the completion and movement into their own corporate head office. Hannah Aman tells us more.
According to Atta, the Nigerian LNG corporate head office has all the trappings of an iconic landmark that we can all be proud of as Rivers State. Skyline lit with an ultra-modern, smart, energy-efficient building designed to support the new standard of a more agile and interconnected workforce. He noted that Nigeria LNG has been dogged in its achievement as the best in Africa, being in the business of building Nigeria by supporting youths across the country, sponsoring overseas scholarships, partnering with government for development, supplying LPGs, and committed to improving the health care of the people, amongst others.
The commissioning of this complex is coming at such an auspicious time in the life of Nigeria LNG, a time when we have astutely proven ourselves as a reliable player in the global LNG market. Our doggedness towards achieving even more success in both the international market and the domestic energy sector has prompted the commencement of our Train 7 project, which has been avidly socialized among all critical stakeholders.
Delivering his keynote address, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike thanked Nigeria LNG for bringing their corporate head office to Port Harcourt to benefit the state, especially their host communities, who will gain employment and other developmental projects. The state chief executive urged other companies doing business in Rivers State to take a cue from LNG by bringing their head office to Port Harcourt, which will help in maintaining the peace they all enjoy.
Speaking, I think you've got a very good relationship with the host community, everybody. And here in the state, I can assure you, as governor of the state, till I leave, you will not enjoy a heat-free business environment. And come and join us. And I want to also commend you for making sure that Train 7 will be flagged up. We're happy.
In their separate speeches, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Timipriye Silva, former MD NLNG Chima Ibeneche, and Deputy Managing Director LNG Sadiq Mai Bonu said the vision of a corporate headquarters in Rivers State and its commissioning is a dream come true.
It wasn't apparent to everybody, but I'm sure you'll agree that if you have a strong city in the east, a strong city in the north, and a strong city in the west, the stability of Nigeria will be assured. That fundamentally is why we insisted and convinced everybody to bring the headquarters here, and I'm glad it happened.
Congratulate the board, management, and entire workforce of the NLNG for this great feat which we are commissioning today.
If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. Nigeria LNG is moving forward towards achieving its vision of being a global LNG company helping to build a better Nigeria and moving Nigeria along with it.
Other dignitaries at the event gave their goodwill messages. Highlight of the event was the cutting of cake and the official inauguration of the building by the state governor and a tour of the facility. Hannah Aman, RSTV News.
Plants are indispensable to the environment because they play an important role in balancing nature. This was the assertion of a professor of plant physiology, Professor Ofo Stephen, while delivering the 25th inaugural lecture of Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Romolumini, Port Harcourt. Justice Ihunwo has details.
Professor Ofo, who delivered an inaugural lecture entitled The Grandeur of Plant, Our Life, Our Environment, said despite the importance of plants to the environment, people have altered and degraded the environment. He pointed out that increase in greenhouse gases is attributed to deforestation and fossil fuel combustion, which cause environmental degradation, adding that plants are the most efficient and effective mechanism for cleaning air contaminants, supply of vital oxygen, and reduce temperature to 50%. According to him, some of the roles plants play include erosion control, flood control, sustenance of ecosystem, check climate change, and provide avenue for peace and conflict resolution in communities, stressing that God created plants to solve problems. Other roles of plants, he noted, are improvement of air and water quality, as well as reduction of gaseous pollution, provision of food, and helps in retaining the fertile topsoil in the forest and farms.
Key raw materials, including seeds and their byproducts, oil seeds, leguminous seeds, root and tubers, grains, storage. All these things are from plants, and they are also consumed or used in the formation of what? Feed for animals.
The inaugural lecturer posited that because man's life is dependent on plants, and destruction of any plant remains an act of disobedience to God, hence it is the duty of man to protect any plant and ensure their survival under stress and abnormal conditions.
There is no doubt that all flesh is what? God.
Professor Ford therefore called for establishment of a university herbarium befitting botanical garden, proper education on conservation of plants in Nigeria, entrenchment of a postgraduate scheme for young academic staff in plant and related courses, as well as emphasis on financing of conservation program. Vice Chancellor, Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Professor Ozom Mekuri Ndimele, while describing the lecture as outstanding, said plants as man's best friend, serves human needs, and without it, no life. Hence the need to respect plants as posited by the lecturer.
Plant is everywhere. In the clothes we wear, in the homes we build, the food we eat, and the medicine we drink or we take. Plant is very, very key in our lives as human beings. So go home today and respect any plant you see around you.
Justice Ihunwo, RSTV News.
The illegal and uncontrollable parking of heavy-duty trucks along major roads and highways has attracted the eyes of the public, with reactions trailing it. Obuka Umeda in this report examines the views of respondents as they profess solution to the subject matter. Take a look.
Parking is an integral component of the transport system as it plays a crucial role in the management of traffic and congestion. Illegal parking of heavy-duty trucks, however, constitute one major problem that makes traffic situation chaotic on Nigerian major roads and highways. A visit to the city of Port Harcourt and its environs shows that these heavy-duty trucks, which may have been driven down for genuine transport business, are parked indiscriminately, thereby causing traffic gridlock. The Akpajo section of the East-West Road, Industry Road in Old Port Harcourt Township, and the Ahoda axis of East-West Road, otherwise known as Ama Hausa, are few examples of illegal parking of heavy-duty trucks. While some respondents traced the non-compliance of traffic laws to lack of political will to enforce traffic laws in the state, others blamed it on lack of functional trailer parks.
You are aware we've had broken down trucks left on the road that have caused accidents in recent years. So it's a very dangerous and worrisome situation. And you wonder why people will, in the course of their doing their legitimate business, try to cause harm, to other road users. It's not a good thing. It's something that should be checked urgently.
There are people that has the responsibility to make sure that trucks are parked at the proper place that meant for them. The authorities, they are not doing their job.
Sometimes truck can break down. You never can tell. Motor can break down anywhere, and this is a very heavy duty. It can cover the whole road and cause traffic for about 2-3 days. Sometimes when trucks have loaded already, this will be so jam-packed, even smaller cars, they cannot have access. So it's really disturbing.
Observers say the role of transport in our daily activities cannot be overemphasized, and without it, the necessities of life would be difficult to achieve. They, however, observed that incoherent management of the transport system is what gives room for illegal parking of heavy-duty vehicles. They called on relevant agencies of government to swing into action and stop the menace, as it has caused loss of man-hours and avoidable accidents on our roads.
Like, I'm supposed to take the cab from there to the place I will enter, then I have to tread in order to maneuver the road up there. So the thing is really stressful and not encouraging at all. I wish the government can do something about this.
The parking of two ways there have been causing havoc in this industry road. Even there's a time I and one Mr. AGK have made an impact that let them begin to park by the Bundu side, where we made arrangement with Dakon Salt management so that they can park there. But unfortunately, the union officers of the trailer drivers refuse, and that's the reason why from here to Silamaris is being blocked.
As the quest for a better road network continues, experts are calling for strict compliance and enforcement of our traffic laws so as to make the society a better place to live in and rid the roads of gridlocks.
I think it's the responsibility of the local government administration to ensure law and order. It's part of their core functions. They should be able to have a traffic department that will be responsible for ensuring traffic in their domain. They'll be responsible for towing of broken down vehicles.
So if government should provide park for us, it will be something of joy, something everybody will celebrate.
Ogbuka Umeda, RSTV News.
The increase in cases of cardiovascular disease in recent times is raising a serious concern, as experts believe that it is the most common cause of death worldwide. In this report, Justice Ihumo takes a look at the causes, symptoms, treatment, and possible preventive measures.
Cardiovascular is a term which refers to the circulatory system that supplies the body with blood, which consists of the heart, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Cardiovascular disease could manifest in different conditions which might develop at the same time and lead to other diseases within the group.
On the overall circulatory functions to the brain, to the various tissues and organs of the body get compromised. And of course, the cardiovascular system, being central to life and to every other function, affects the entire body system.
Experts outline some vascular diseases that affect the arteries and veins throughout the body and around the heart, to include artery disease, renal artery disease, stroke, venous blood clot, among others. Hypertension and type 2 diabetes, pains in the chest, discomfort in the arm, shortness of breath, nausea, fatigue, dizziness, and cold sweats are some of the symptoms of cardiovascular diseases. Dr. Kechiku Odo is a medical expert, and he speaks on the major causes of cardiovascular disease.
Normally, the blood vessel has a caliber. If the pipe is free, the entire diameter is free. Blood will flow normally. But over time, with somebody who has excessive cholesterol, for example, or other lipids, this excess cholesterol will deposit continuously on the wall of the blood vessel. A blood vessel that had this space may now narrow down to about 20% of the original size. That narrowing will compel the heart to work more to push blood across in circulation, obviously overworking the heart. Such a heart will soon fail.
Dr. Do also outlines some of the preventive measures that can be adopted.
The health of the people is the measure of the wealth of the country. So with good governance, you can be sure of good employment. People should be able to have money, to buy good food, They should feel secure, they should feel happy, they should feel free. Quality of life must improve.
According to him, lifestyle matters a lot in checking cases of the disease.
Why will you sit all day? No exercise, no sweating. You walk to the next door neighbor, you want Okada or driver. Routine, regular, frequent, moderate exercise, improved circulatory function, brain health, cardiac health, muscular health, joint health, digestion, respiratory system, everything. So we need to live active life. Sedentary life will lead to all manners of diseases.
Justice Ihunwo, Arise TV News.
Do remember that coronavirus is still out there. Wear your nose mask, wash and sanitize your hands regularly. By doing so, you're protecting yourself from COVID-19 and keeping your family safe. You're still watching the news at 3, coming to you live from our studios. When we return after the break, Israeli-Palestinian ceasefire comes into effect. Details of that story and more after the break. Stay tuned.
My dear Rivers people, the times we are in call for a great sense of patriotism. We must protect our dear state from agents of destruction who do not mean well. Traditional rulers, community development committees, and our youth must remain vigilant and report all suspicious characters to law enforcement agencies. River State remains a home for all Nigerians who do legitimate businesses. We cannot allow miscreants retard our progress and threaten the peace we all enjoy. Governor Nyesom Wike is passionate to make our state a destination of choice. Let us join hands with him to build and not destroy. River State, our responsibility. This message is from the River State Ministry of Information and Communications.
Big day ahead.
New Ovaltine 3-in-1. Smart choice for smart kids.
This is RSTV World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. RSTV, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
If you're just joining us, this is the news at 3 coming to you live from our studios, and now the rest of our reports. The federal government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, and the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASUN, in its bid to resolve the strike by the unions. This followed a meeting between the government and leaders of the unions presided over by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, in Abuja. At the end of the meeting, both parties signed an agreement asking state governments to commence implementation of financial autonomy to the states. They were urged to transfer their statutory allocations, beginning with the April Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. Allocation is expected to be shared next week. Briefing reporters at the end of the meeting, the minister was hopeful that the workers would call off the strike as soon as their accounts were credited when the April federal allocations were shared. Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige is confident the two striking labour unions will call off their industrial action once implementation begins. He assured Nigerians, especially those who have pending court cases, that there was a renewed hope that industrial action would soon be suspended. The Nigerian Air Force has inducted 3 newly acquired JF-17 Thunder multi-role aircraft into its inventory. President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashiru Magashi, performed the induction at an event held Thursday in Makudi, the Benue State capital. Buhari stated that the induction ceremony was personally rewarding to him as it marked yet another step in his promise to improve the infrastructure and equipment dispositions of the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies for enhanced output, professionalism and service delivery. The president added that the induction of the JF-17 aircraft was indicative of how the Air Force has continued to advance its capability over the past 57 years while developing competencies to achieve its constitutional mandate of defending the nation's territorial integrity by air. He commended the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, for remaining at the forefront of the fight against all enemies of Nigeria. Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle has ordered the closure of 4 markets in 2 local government areas of the state in the northwest region. The secretary to the state government, Bala Maru, who made the announcement in a statement, said the closure was with immediate effect. He explained that the closure became necessary to uphold law and order in the affected towns, villages, and their immediate neighborhoods. According to the statement, 3 of the affected markets are in Birnin Magaji local government area, and the 4th is in Maru local government area. Similarly, Governor Matawalle has ordered the revocation of all land titles across all local government areas of the state. Governor Matawalle directed property owners to go to the State Geographic Information System for recertification of their respective titles with a new policy of granting electronic certificates. Meanwhile, Governor Bello Matawalle of Zamfara State has expressed satisfaction with the progress of work at the State Cargo International Airport under construction. The governor stated this while on inspection to assess the level of work at the site. Governor Matawalle said the airport will begin full air operations before the end of the year. The governor directed the contractor handling the project to fast-track the work to meet up the deadline. Bandits have killed the eldest son of the Emir of Kontagora, Bashiru Namaska, at his father's farm, alongside others working on the farm at Masuga village along the Kontagora-Rijau Road in Niger State. The traditional ruler's son was the Sardauna of Kontagora and had been holding the fort for his father, the Sarkin Sudan, who was reported to have been sick for some months. It was said to have been shot by the bandits on Thursday, later rushed to the hospital where he was confirmed dead on arrival. According to the report, the bandits also abducted some persons on their way out of the town in the north-central region of the country. In his reaction, Niger State Governor Abubakar Bello described the death of the prince as heartbreaking and devastating and condoled with the emir and the people of Kontagora Emirate over the loss. A bit on the foreign scene now. Angeline Mukandutiye, the only woman in a group of 21 Rwandans facing terrorism charges, has admitted to recruiting girls for a Rwandan opposition group that operated in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. The group includes Paul Rusesabagina, the man portrayed as a hero in the 2004 film Hotel Rwanda. About the Rwandan genocide, he denies any wrongdoing. Mukandutiye, 70, showed judges at a high court in the capital Kigali some of her co-accused who were together with her. The former school inspector fled Rwanda in 1994 and took up the role of commissioner in charge of family and development. She told the court that she believed they were seeking unity and democracy in Rwanda, but denied playing any role in deadly attacks in the country between 2018 and 2019. Spain has said it is officially lifting restrictions for United Kingdom travelers from Monday when a decree takes effect. The government says the UK and Japan will be on a list of countries whose residents are not affected by restrictions on non-essential travel to the EU. They will not need a PCR test. The EU is currently deciding on an expanded white list of countries whose citizens can enter the EU freely. Only 7 with very low COVID infection rates are on the list now. The UK government, however, still strongly advises against non-essential travel to Spain and most other EU countries. A ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas in the Gaza Strip has come into effect. The ceasefire began early today, bringing to an end 11 days of fighting in which more than 250 people were killed, most of them in Gaza. Palestinians poured onto the streets of Gaza soon after the truce began, while a Hamas official warned the group had not let down its guard. The truce faced an early test Friday when fresh clashes broke out at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem. Israeli police spokesman Miki Rosenfeld told newsmen that Palestinians had thrown stones at officers and the riots suppressing measures had been taken in response. Both Israel and Hamas have claimed victory in the conflict. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has confirmed Israel-Gaza ceasefire. Speaking from the White House, President Biden commended Israel for the ceasefire. He said America backed Israel to defend itself against terrorist groups, stressing that his administration would help ensure that the Iron Dome system would be replenished for the future.
Unconditional ceasefire began in less than 2 hours.
Away from foreign matters now to entertainment, Nigerian singer Teniola Apata, popularly known as Teni, has dropped a new single titled Save the Day. The new song, coming after the success of her album, is to sensitize people about the pandemic. The singer brings the message about COVID-19 home with some relatable information on how to protect oneself and save the day. Teni's debut album, Wonderland, is still buzzing with over 30 million streams across digital service providers. The 17-track album was dropped on all digital platforms in the early hours of today. Award-winning producers such as Fields, Damayo, Tempo, P Prime, Milamix, Chris Beats, and Oze D-Box worked on the album with Davido as the only featured artist. The project is coming a few weeks after Teni had released the visuals to For You, her Davido-assisted track in the body of the work. The leader of Star Ivory Coast music combo magic system, Salif Traoré, popularly known as Asafo, has been made Cote d'Ivoire country director of the International Committee of All Africa Music Awards, AFRIMA. The appointment of the 42-year-old lead singer was announced in